Successful furniture sales is not just about selling pieces, it's about creating spaces where dreams and comfort coexist. Hello, my name is John Doe, and I've been working in Gold Mountain since 2021 as a classification analyst. One of my main objectives in Gold Mountain has been to provide clients with important details and advice in order to perform their businesses in the country they desire, helping them solve problems and make a strategic planning in order to achieve their objectives. For this project, we've worked alongside A-Furniture America, which is a furniture company trying to reach the Mexican market of furniture. For starters, in order to enter the Mexican market, it is important to consider several aspects of the Mexican demographics. For starters, one of the reasons they decided to enter the Mexican market is because Mexico has over 126 million people living there, which makes it one of the biggest consumer markets in the world. And in recent years, a lot of people have decided to move to the cities, and because of this, they also gain access to a broader variety of consumer goods, furniture included as well. Also, in Mexico, the middle class has been increasing in recent years, and this has contributed to increased purchasing power, which leads to the demand of higher and more premium, high quality products. Uh, Even though the middle class has been growing in Mexico, it is important to consider that there's a lot of income barriers in Mexico. So it is recommendable to make products affordable for the lower income classes. Uh, Also worth mentioning, the competition in Mexico is quite high, because there's both domestic and international players in the furniture industry. So it is important to make your products more make your products unique and have special qualities that differentiate them from the competition. But compared to other national companies or even other foreign companies, the Mexican consumers have acquired a taste for American furniture, because they tend to associate the American brands to premium or high quality products. Okay, so our next step is how can the Mexican political system help us or undermine us? Well, for starters, the government offers incentives such as tax breaks or even subsidies to expand operations inside of Mexico, which could result in reduced cost and increased profits. Also, Mexico operates under the USA Mexico Canada Trade Agreement that allows us to trade trade products between those countries in with a reduced tariff, or even eliminating trade barriers that could potentially increase the costs. Also, for foreign companies, one of the benefits foreign companies have is the low labor costs for the Mexicans, because they usually operate under relatively lower wages compared to the USA, which can be beneficial if a furniture maker once decides to operate under the country. Well, in Mexico, the foreign investments play a significant role in the economy, and well, this can take various forms, such as new subsidiaries, acquisition of companies, investing in joint ventures with local partners, and generally have business perform inside the country. Okay, so the fiscal incentives in Mexico, well, the most commonly used program in Mexico is the IMEX, which is also known as the Maquiladora program, which allows foreign companies to import raw materials uh, or equipment duty free for manufacturing items that into the country, which allows them to produce the product. For example, like if you import the materials for a chair and make it in Mexico, it's gonna result cheaper than making the chair in the United States then importing it, because that's what the IMEX is for, to increase production and gain more customers to operate under the Mexican country. Like I previously mentioned, the trade agreement that could also benefit A-Furniture America is the USA Mexico and Canada agreement. Like I mentioned previously, it reduces tariffs and it makes a great opportunity for more cost-effective transportation and exportation process. Uh, Compared to American culture, Mexico has a fascinating and vibrant set of traditions, art, music, and history alongside other countries. This helps them set themselves apart from other countries, at least in the Mexican, well, in the business area, because Mexicans are really connected with people. Like Mexicans like to perform business alongside like family. Like they see their business partners as family. So it might seem weird at first, but if you think that a being like this close and this like warm welcoming is weird, well, it's a special element of the Mexican business culture, because this is how most people were raised. So this also has been a benefit for them, because a lot of countries seeing the warm culture of Mexico, like they make them a favorable business partner. Okay, so the workplace culture. For starters, there's Mexico operates under a hierarchical structure. So depending of your position, uh, you're gonna have more power and more respect for. The minimum wage in Mexico is generally around 207 pesos, but in border areas, in cities of the border, the minimum wage is higher because it's really close to the country. So usually it's around 312 pesos the minimum wage there. Labor unions like America are not very common depending on the industry, but the few labor unions that exist in Mexico uh, operate similarly to the ones in America. But unlike in America, the labor unions work alongside like political parties, which makes them favorable for that their party and makes them possible voting. Well, they give them possible votes for their party. Uh, like in the USA, Mexico operates under contracts, but usually there's like two types of contracts. There's an indefinite term, which gives the employee a set of rules and uh, and a set of rules that he needs to follow and perform in their job. But also some jobs offer a fixed term, which allows the employee to work on for a certain time in the industry he's gonna be working for, but also gives them like the benefits as well. Uh, the the Mexican federal labor law is the legislation that employees, uh, well, it regulates the employee relationships in Mexico, and it covers the aspects of like protection, benefits, and other elements that are important in order to get a contract and also be safe while performing your job. These are some of the countries that Mexico operates on. For example, there's the USA, Canada, Mexico agreement, like we mentioned. Mexico is also a member of the European Union, and also Mexico has an agreement with Chile, Colombia, Peru, and even the United Kingdom after they left the European Union. So, what's my recommendation? Well, there's a lot of factories inside the country. So the best option for A Furniture America is to collaborate with local brands, since they have an extensive network with with uh, with other factories and even supermarkets and other important stores that are gonna sell your product. It is also recommended to like work with a factory and operate under the IMEX program, since it's gonna be more cheaper to produce your furniture rather than like bring the product inside the country. Uh, One of the biggest companies in the north, which is gonna be like the area we're gonna be focusing on, is Muebles Horman, since they're one of the biggest furniture brands, and they have a lot of business partners, and they have an extensive network of logistics. They have an extensive network of connection with furniture stores, department stores, and even supermarkets. Okay, for my conclusion, we can see that Mexico offers a promising market for all kinds of businesses, furniture included, but we need to understand the Mexican culture in order to operate inside the country. Uh, Building relationships is an important factor of the success of any foreign company that's gonna be working inside the country, because being this close to some well building a relationship is vital, and it's really a really important aspect of the culture. But at the same time, when we build relationships, we're also understanding the consumer base better, and we also that's going to help us develop even more strategies to establish ourselves in the market. And well, eh, if we are able to perform well inside the country, we can decide to, well, at least the company will decide to operate like set up manufacturing contracts. They're gonna establish themselves with the with the with the local brands, and even then there can be products that could be specifically made inside the country, then brought up to the United States. So yeah, making business in Mexico offers a lot of opportunities, and it is definitely worth trying to bring your products into the Mexican market. Well, that has been all. My name is John Doe, and I hope you to see you next time.